All right, race fans, welcome back to race number 4 of the Monticello Esports Sim Racing League, coming to you live from Summit Point, West Virginia. The cars are on their formation lap right now, turning into turn 1. We've just got finished with qualifying, and I'm joined in the booth as always with my trusty co-host Demetro Crawford, who's also running the control booth and running the drone, running the cameras. Demetro, we are at beautiful Summit Point. We've got great weather tonight. It's excellent temperature, low humidity, low chance of rain. Some of the guys are worried about rain. It looks like clear skies here in West Virginia tonight. How you feeling about this race?
No, feeling great about this race. It should be super exciting. As the beautiful thing about Summit Point is that it's a really fast-paced track. Drivers are focused on carrying as much speed as possible. And if you're hitting your clipping points and you're moving that car quickly through those turns, you're going to put in some fast laps here. But no, it's super exciting to see all the drivers here tonight. I think we have over 20 drivers here with us tonight, 24
Sure.
to be exact. And it
Yeah, we
should
got some
be,
new names in the field too, right? We got
yeah,
some
definitely
new
some new names.
drivers coming out for the first time. We've got
Yeah,
Niclarios, and we've got a Paul. I mean, we've got so many great drivers in there tonight. Levine and Niclario. You, it's I'm looking forward to this field.
for sure. Let's take a look at the current grid right this second. Trent Walko and Peter Bank rounding out the top two. I feel like Trent Walko is a typical name to see up at the front, right? Uh, and then we have Brian Hedian into the top three in qualifying. So great qualifying session from him, followed by Eric Paterno, Sean McAuliffe, Ian Barthelms. The Barthelms brothers qualifying sixth and seventh, followed by Jordan Klein. Brian Quealy in the top 10, P9. Love to see that. Paul Levine rounding out that top 10.
Yeah, focus. Kudos to Brian Hedian as we turn on to the main straight here. We're about to take the green flag. Pace truck is in. Trent on the pole. Hedian in P3. And we are green flag racing down into turn 1.
Wow.
Big right hander here at Summit Point.
Yeah, I kind of felt like was that Peter who kind of jumped the start a bit. Not sure if he's gonna get a little black flag for that, but we know that Trent's
I,
got some
I
pace,
think
so I
he
bet Trent's
did.
not too worried.
I I think he did jump the gun. I don't know if the stewards are going to have anything to say about that or not, but we'll find out soon as we get here to turn 3, left-hander up the hill. Definitely do not want to track out to the right here. You do not want to get into that gravel there because there's nothing but trees over there, my friend.
I must say we've
Yes,
been very clean off the line. Every car is still on track in my notes, so great start from everyone at Monticello.
best race start we've had all season. All cars. If we could have all 24 cars, all 20 cars complete the first lap, that will be a victory for this field. The crowd paid big money. This crowd is on its feet as we work our way towards the bridge here to finish lap number 1.
Absolutely. This is the point at which Trent can sort of build that run on Peter Bank, take back that lead position, and we'll see what Peter Bank's going to be able to do here. I mean, this is such a long straight, and in this car, it's even longer, just of how slow they are compared to all the other cars that we're using in this series. So it'll be interesting to see. Will Trent stay by? Oh, there's someone off in the background. That's Chris Peterson.
Yeah, there's somebody big. Yeah, somebody big back there. A little optimistic on the track out there for the last corner.
Yeah, this George Polis, it also seems like may have found the runoff there out of the last corner. So unfortunate start for them. Brian Hedian under a little bit of pressure from
Ah,
Eric Paterno.
oh,
Can't remember. Brian Hedian did finish. Oh yes, Brian Hedian started third, so still holding his position on track. But as we know, qualifying is very different than the race, and the mentality that you need to have is super important. I know Brian Hedian is all about his Mamba mentality, right? So hopefully he's able to channel that inner Mamba mentality and catch up to Trent and Peter and make a move, hopefully, to get to the top of the podium.
well, you see Swifty Swiss right there, a very accomplished sim racer, Eric Paterno, and then Sean McAuliffe right behind him. They're going to make sure Brian is on his toes all night long. signature blue and white there at Paterno, which it's a good start for him, good start for McAuliffe. Good to see those members out racing with these instructors tonight. We have a lot of, I mean, look at Brian Quealy, BQ right there up behind, and we look
Oh
at
my
Paterno trying
goodness.
to break the toe, and Sean McAuliffe is not having it as Paterno gets back on the brakes in the braking zone. McAuliffe tries to get his nose in there, not quite. Oh man, McAuliffe had very optimistic positioning going into that turn one.
Absolutely. Dude,
Paterno able
phenomenal job
more.
from Sean McAuliffe, taking Ayrton Senna's advice to
Yeah,
heart. You know, got to go for the gap. You know, if there's a gap there, if you don't take the gap, you're no longer a
you
race car
have to
driver.
go
So,
for it. Yeah.
amazing stuff. Looks like
Yeah, this
it,
is good, clean racing so far. We've had a couple of offs. We've got Fall and Ron Trinka and is Nick Leone. Nick Leone's in the pit. Is showing. I don't know if he's utilizing his Nick Leone not off to the best start. Peterson also not off to the best start, but that is opened up for some of these members to really move up through the field.
yeah, it's a good point.
Brian Quealy is up to 7th.
Not sure if Nick had the best qualifying time. One thing to note for this qualifying, it was open qualifying. That means that every driver that you see on track right now was also on track qualifying at the same time. Now, if there's any contact, any off tracks, that scraps that lap and it won't be counted towards your true qualifying clean lap. Now, you know, if you are one of the first ones on track, usually you can take advantage of the fact that not as many people are on track and are able to get some good runs and get some good driving in. Most likely than not, Peter Bank, Trent Walco, and Brian Heaton able to capitalize on it, including Eric Paterno, Sean McAuliffe. You know, a guy like Nick Leone, we know he's got pace. We know he's a great driver, but I was pretty sure he joined the session a little late, and that may have been a little bit of a downfall for him.
Look at, man, I'm telling you, Hedian about to get into the mix. Peter Bank is jamming up Trent, and that is allowing Hedian to really get in the mix here. We're going to have a battle here between Walco and Hedian real soon. You can see the steering wheel technique there out of Hedian. He's really working the wheel nice and smooth as he heads onto this little short straight. Headed for that final right-hander onto the main straight. Really, really exciting piece of track here. Car placement is huge here. If you track out too much there, it's lights out, kids.
Absolutely, and you know I can't agree with you more. This front straight, oh my, into the
Ooh,
woods!
Peter Bank.
Oh my God, Peter Bank's in the woods!
Peter Bank just went into outer space. I think Peter Bank. I don't know. I don't know. It's not looking good for Peter Bank. He has left the building.
I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. I think we might just need to go watch that one back real quick.
I think we need a drone shot of that. I don't know. We need a top-down drone shot.
Uh,
Yeah, he has joined. He has left the facility.
I genuinely do not know what to say. Peter Bank, was he tapped by
Did he
Trent?
get a
Did Trent?
bump?
Uh, I don't.
I don't know.
I don't think Trent touched him. I genuinely think that it was his own doing. I, you can kind of see Trent kind of dipped out as if he was going here on board here with Trent. It looks like a bump draft,
Yeah.
bump draft, bump draft, and he was look. He's leading. It's not like he turned the other way. He was leading towards there, and it just looks like that was absolutely bizarre. That was bizarre.
I believe it looked to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak too soon. But it seemed that Peter Bank just decided to go to outer space. He went off track in one of the very worst possible places. I think he might have gone through the steward's building.
You know, there's a possibility, and I'm starting to think now. If we try to piece all of the parts of the puzzle together, I did mention at the beginning that Peter kind of looked like he jumped the start. And there's a possibility that the stewards thought the same. He was unhappy with that decision, and he wanted a quick conversation with them. And the
Do you
fastest
think
way to
they
do
called
that
him to the steward?
and the quickest way to do that is to join the Peter Banks space program. And I think that's exactly what has happened here, folks.
He said, "I'll be right there. I'm
So
coming right now." So back to the racing action. We've got Trent Walco out front with Brian Hedian in second. Paterno's up to third, and BQ, the chief operating officer of Monticello Motor Club, up to fifth place, moving up with some really quick, consistent laps. BQ has gotten around one of the Barthelms. He's actually gotten around both the Barthelms. And now you've got Jordan Klein in seventh and fantastic Miata specialist Jack Klepchik, a blast from the past, racing in eighth place. We've got such a great field here with Manny T there in 11th. Oh man, Ratura, Todd Ratura and Sperano, Naclario. All the members are out tonight. It's a really great night for racing.
Absolutely. I'm still kind of taken aback by what has happened to Peter Bank, but couldn't agree with you
I
more.
know.
What a great set.
I'm almost speechless.
What a great set of drivers here on the grid tonight. Brian Quilly up 4 positions right now in the top 5.
Yeah.
So from P9 to P5. So great start of the race for him. And as you said before, some great members here driving with us tonight. Jack Klepchik making some moves up further past Ian Barthelms. So making
Klepchik
quick
is
work.
no joke. You
Up
got
8
to watch
places.
out for that kid.
This is great for Jack Klepchik. I feel like, often we give him some smack for sometimes the car placement and sometimes when he gets unlucky on track, but he's really putting in the work right now.
Yeah. He's a very talented driver. He's excellent in the Speg Miatas. He's good on this track, and I don't know. I'm happy to see the kid turning out pretty good laps tonight. And the crowd. I mean, can you get a load of this crowd? It's almost a sellout for a February race in West Virginia. I mean, what is it like? You just can't do any better than a sold out crowd February West Virginia.
I can't agree with you more. I was talking with little Jimmy outside, telling me all about his favorite drivers on track. I heard from him. He's got top 3. It was a Vincent Sperano. He said the Jack Klepchik's car is his favorite. He's actually got a miniature one at home, and he said his favorite driver, Josh Green, who can't be with us here tonight because he's pursuing his educational prowess.
He is. He's doing much more important things tonight with college advisors. But you see Klepchik right there behind Jordan Klein. Klein trying to shake Klepchik, and that is not working right now.
Ooh, Klepchik's got to be careful here.
Barthelms is taking advantage as well.
Ooh.
Klein outside. Can't handle the pressure. Too much pressure there for Klein. Missed the braking zone and goes deep into the gravel. Almost beats the car.
Yeah, that's one of the braking zones that it almost feels like you always feel like you're kind of braking a little too early. And if you don't brake at that brake too early point, you're going to miss the corner. It's a really deceptive corner in that regard. And look, depending on how aggressive you are with that corner, you can kind of make it work, and you'll surprise yourself by making the corner. But unfortunately, there, I think Jordan Klein had a rear view mirror filled with Jack Klepchik and just couldn't handle the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you something else too. This track, having raced here several times, this track feels uncannily narrow sometimes. It's very narrow. Ooh, got a little contact there. Klepchik not excited about Barthelms tucking inside of him. But, and there's Antonio Unanue also getting inside of Klepchik as well.
Yeah, fantastic. I think Antonio Unanue, new driver in the series. Ooh. A little loose there, but able to keep it on track. Oh, someone's spinning in the background. Not sure who that was.
Yeah.
But it was Juan Rivera. Unfortunately, Rivera off track in the background. But Antonio Unanue, great first outing here with Monticello Motor Club Esports Challenge. Excited to see more drive from him. And I was going to say before, very clean driving from him as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's been really good, really consistent laps up so far. We're just past the halfway point. We got about 8 minutes left in this race. Time for about 7 laps or so. Barthelms in his signature Dunkin' Donuts car, looking good as well. Moving up into, what is that? I think 8th place right now.
8th place, that's correct. Yeah, and you could see so many drivers are touching the dirt that Paul Barthelms had to turn the windshield wipers on. Couldn't see in front of him. But looks like Paul Barthelms able to make it past Jordan Klein, and now looking at Jack Klepchik in front of him. Jack kind of looks like he lost a little bit of his footing after Ian Barthelmes had passed him earlier in the lap prior, but able to find his footing once again.
I tell you, the amount of gravel these guys are picking up right here in turn 3, especially on that track out right there, I bet it looks like Star Wars back there behind those guys. You might as well be in like the Millennium Falcon if you're behind somebody in turn 3. That is pure asteroid belt out there. Here's Jack Klepchik working hard, trying to get back on to position with Barthelmes. Car really squirrely.
Yeah, this is the point in the race where in iRacing the tire model becomes super slippery. We're about 14 minutes almost into that race, and what you'll start to realize is that the car just starts to get a little looser and looser and looser. In one lap, you're going to turn to turn 1, and you're going to almost go full opposite lock. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some really really good drivers here on the field, unfortunately losing it in certain places just because the car gets super loose, and especially in a track like this where you're kicking up a lot of that dirt onto the track and leaving that dirt all over the place. That combination is going to catch some drivers out. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, that combination of, yeah, you're right. The track conditions is, along with the fact that these cars are, let's face it, I mean, they're not the most powerful cars in the world. They give a ton of confidence. So that confidence kind of creeps up on you and starts to make you feel like a superhero right up until it swaps ends on you.
No, absolutely agree with you there. Taking a look a little further up front, the battle. Oh, and as I said, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that the track just gets slipperier and slipperier. Catching out Paul Levine, who, mind you, phenomenal driver, qualified super well during this race.
First race of the season for Paul.
Yeah.
First race of the season for him. We were happy to see him out.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, as I was saying, it's going to get slipperier and slipperier, and it's going to catch a lot of these drivers out, especially as on different parts of the lap. As you see there, Brian Hedian putting some dirt on track. It's just going to make that section of the track so much slipperier.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a commentator's curse, but I just got out of my mouth. Somebody's about to swap ends. As Hedian makes a move inside on the right-hander, and he is clean through. Trent tries to get the undercut there, but it is not going to work. Hedian makes it stick, and Brian Hedian is your race leader with 4.5 minutes to go. Good to see Hedian with oh, God, don't get out there, though, Brian. That is the worst sand trap in all of North America to be caught in.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say here, I think this is the first time that Brian is in first place this season, driving on track in first place. Great from the back marker there to move out of the way. But yeah, commentator's curse. I know for a fact that Brian currently has a slowdown. So there's a thing on Brian's screen saying, hey, you cut the course, you drove it off there and kept your foot pinned. You're not allowed to do that. You're going to have to give up some time. For that part of track, it'll be around a second, but it seems as though so far he has not given up that time. It'll be interesting to see where he gives up that time. I would have thought he would maybe overslow in some sections of corner to mess with Trent Walco, because if he tries to let him go here, there's no way he's gonna be able to catch up that second.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I tell you, Trent is all over that rear bumper. I'm sure Brian's aware of what happened to Peter Bank. You got to be careful when you get Trent Walco behind you. You might go to the steward's office directly. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I was gonna say there that with that the potential black flag or slowdown penalty, once again part 2 he's in the grass. I mean, I'm not sure if Brian has admin privileges, and maybe on that back straight he's clearing those black flags, paying the stewards under the desk. Not sure if he's got someone up there.
His car's loose.
That car is loose. Though.
He's hanging on to it right now. Yeah, I think Hedian might be filing his own protest paperwork with the stewards and clearing those black flags with a special keystroke there. I'm not sure, but I tell you, he is making an entirely new race line through turn 3, and beyond that beach, beyond that gravel trap, there's nothing but trees, my friend.
Absolutely. And look, the one thing for me here is that Brian spent a lot of the race tucked up behind what was formerly Peter and Trent, but then ended up becoming Trent, right? So the front of his car is doing a lot of work, to keep that grip. He's having to be a lot more aggressive on those front tires. So at this point, he's probably feeling the effects of that, and that car is most likely pushing way, way more than it should.
Good on Chris Peterson there, getting out of the way of the leaders. Chris Peterson making room for Brian and Trent to come through. And then he is now right back to it. Chris Peterson joining the fight. That is pretty cool of him. Let them through, and I'm sure he's having fun by getting right on Trent's bumper.
Absolutely. Looking a little further back, Eric Paterno and Sean McAuliffe. This fight is hot. There is a lot. Oh, commentators curse.
And a car is around. Oh, Paterno is around. A top three driver spun, and McAuliffe around as well. It's mayhem with 2 minutes to go in the race.
Unlucky stuff. And Sean McAuliffe still playing in the grass there in the back.
What are you doing, Sean?
Oh, super unlucky stuff there. I was going to say that fight is really heating up. I was looking at the intervals between them, and it was absolutely nothing.
I know.
But we know who benefits here. Brian Quealy.
Walco gets around Hedian. That's true.
Oh.
And look, Hedian and Walco just trading positions door to door through turn 1 into turn 2. Back up to Brian Hedian's favorite corner now, heading up to turn 3. Let's see how much of the gravel trap. Oh my gosh, he's outside of Trent with nothing but gravel and trees.
There's no way he's not going to play in the.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was playing in the sand there. He was playing in the sand.
Trent's around. I think it's white flag next time by.
Aggressive move for Brian Hedian. Spins Trent.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. What happened there? Those two instructors just getting tangled in turn number 5. Chris Peterson coming up to give him oh no, that's terrible.
That was not great, but able to capitalize on this maybe is Eric Paterno and Brian Quealy. Trent Walco and Brian. It looks like, Brian being a nice person here and giving Trent that spot, going into the grass there was not the place to make the move. But, sometimes you just got to do it for the checkered flag.
I'm telling you what, we are overtime now. Checkers this time by. It looks like Trent is going to take it.
And the jump.
And Trent goes to see his friend Peter Bank at the steward's office.
Everyone is taking the jump right now. I think that Peter may have started something here. Jack Klepchik off the jump into the abyss. Wow. What a race we had ourselves there.
Dimitri, I was telling you earlier before the race started, Summit Point, it's one of the safest racetracks in America, as you can tell, right? So many different things can happen at Summit Point.
Oh, man. And these drivers are letting us know that anything can happen.
Absolutely. What a race. Trent Walco finishes P1. Brian Hedian, P2. Paterno, P3. And Brian Quealy, best finish of the season, finishes in 4th. Followed by Ian Barthelms and Jack Klepchik. What a race. We got race 2 coming up in 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Stand by for more mayhem from West Virginia, Summit Point.
For sure. Just got the last few drivers on track, wrapping it all up. Ron Tranka, P16 as he comes across the line. Great drive from him, up 6 places from his start position. There were definitely some hard chargers in that last race. And if we take a quick look at the results, we'll see that for sure. Trent Walco taking that top step, starting P1 and ending P1. And unfortunately for Brian Hedian, there's a point in time where there was a possibility he was going to make a serious impact there. But doesn't seem like he was able to keep it on track for that pass into the left-hand hairpin. Eric Paterno ending P3. It was
exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. Eric Paterno P3 and Brian Quealy up to P4, up 5 positions from start. Top 5 finish, amazing stuff. Ian Barthelms P5, Jack Klepchik P6, Sean McAuliffe P7. Jordan Klein P8, Manny Tartaglione P9, Vincent Sperano P10, Nick Leone P11, Todd Ratura P12, Jacob Niclario P13, and Rafal. Oh, I think I might butcher this one.
Oh, you got it. You got it. You got it, Demetrio. Go for it.
Walkiewicz. I'm
There,
gonna
let's
go with
go with that. That
Walkiewicz.
sounds good.
That sounds right. Rafael Walkiewicz. Rafael Walkiewicz. That's gotta be it. P14, and rounding out P15 as George Paulus, Ron Trenka P16, Antonio Unanue P17. Must have been an incident from him because he was quite high up the grid in the
Yeah.
last race. Paul Levine rounding out P18. Looking down this order, Chris Peterson P19, Jeffrey Ernsting P20, Paul Barthelms P21. Must have been an issue for Paul Barthelms because he was also running pretty high up the order as well. Juan Rivera P22. We saw him get caught out during last race, and then Owen Barthelms P23, and the man who's still at the steward's office, Peter Bank.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and
Oh man,
prayers.
he
Thoughts and
must
prayers
have
for
had a
Peter
real
Bank.
long conversation there because yeah, wow, that was something, wasn't it?
It was something.
If you've never
These
seen a
kids
Miata
love to have
fly,
fun.
you cannot say that anymore. You've seen a Miata fly today. There's no there's no unseeing that. Let's put it that way.
What a race.
Yeah. All right, let's
I
cut
tell
to
you
some
what,
commercial breaks real quick. Oh, you got something?
go ahead.
No,
No,
I was
no,
gonna,
go ahead. No, go ahead. Commercials are what we want.
commercials are what we want. All right, let's take a look at some commercials real quick.
Wind me up, put me down, stop me up and watch me go. I'll be running circles around you sooner than you know. A little like Santa when I'm out of June, just kicking this can along the avenue. But I'm alright.
Peter Bank. I actually really wanted to see if Peter had help. Oh, this looks great. Series, our first ever real true spec series at MMC. We're going to be racing on Friday nights this fall and summer, and it's going to be amazing. Right now, we've got about 20 cars signed up for an amazing season of spec Miata racing at your Monticello Motor Club. And we hope all of you guys can get a car and come out and join us.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely looks like a lot of fun. To be honest, if it was up to me, I would say that we should be racing this race on iRacing at the Monticello Motor Club because I feel like it would be even more exciting. Not to say, that
Oh,
this very safe track that we're at is not an exciting and exhilarating race. But believe me,
yes,
imagine,
this is Summit Point, known for its safety. I mean, it's known for its safety.
you've heard of New York Safety Track, but then there's Summit Point Raceway. I mean, it's like it takes the top step when it comes to safety. But yeah, as uh, Derek said, uh, ND race. Oh my goodness, race series at Monticello Motor Club. The ad just played before, so if you want to get some more info on it, play it back a little bit. But I would say hold off on that playback because race 2 is coming up right now at Summit Point Raceway, and here's our starting grid.
Yeah, how about this? We got Trent Walco on the pole, Brian Heating outside front row, and Paterno and BQ in row number 2, followed up by Ian Barthelms and Jack Klepchik. This is with Sean McAuliffe and Jordan Klein. Manny T is up there in 9th, Vinny Sperano in 10th. This is going to be a exciting restart. We've got some fresh names way up the board, and I'm excited to see how they deal with the pressure of being at the front of the pack.
Absolutely, I would agree with you there. And this race kind of feels like a little bit of a reset. It feels like it's a true mix-up of what we traditionally see as the grid. Jack Klepchik is super high up here, and there's a possibility he's able to capitalize on that. I feel like Jack always seems to get the short end of the stick when it comes to quality, but this time around was able to really put his head down in the race. And I mean, also BQ P4. This is massive stuff.
Yeah, it's mega. It's mega. It's the kind of thing we like to see. We like to see fresh names moving about on the leaderboard, and tonight's racing has been fantastic. So here we go. We're rolling around formation lap right now. The Buc-ee's Quick Stop Racing Miata is out front, piloted by Trent Walco. He is on that pace truck's tail, ready to get race number 2 underway.
Absolutely.
Under the
And
bridge,
yeah,
final turn.
almost ready to go here. Should be an exciting start. Lots of drivers who traditionally are a little further back, now further up front. So, you know, very different when you're starting at different places in the grid. See how they're able to capitalize on that. I can already see
Yeah.
Jordan Klein is ready just to absolutely gun it. No
Field
jump
is
starts
tightening
here.
up, waiting for the lights, and
Ooh, some contact for
oh
the
boy,
back.
we had some action. Yeah, we had some action right off. Somebody jumped the start back there, and it is a drag race, 3 wide, 4 wide, down into turn 1 right-hander.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this front straight so long. So before you waiting to go green, you got to be super 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 patient. Oh no, that's Jack Klepchik. That's Jack
Yeah,
Klepchik off track, starting P6 and
nothing
now
but hopes and
going down.
dreams on
Oh,
that brake
big
pedal.
accident
Oh,
behind.
we've got big. Oh man, oh man, oh gosh, 3, 4, 5 cars involved.
Oh
McAuliffe is through
no.
clean. The Gulf Colors number 8 is in the dirt again. 94 is in the dirt. Oh, that's Rafael Walkiewicz in the dirt.
Super unfortunate stuff further back. It was just so tight packed. Trent Walko already building a gap in Eric Paterno, P2.
Yeah, you got the jump on Heady in there in turn 3. The Heady in Memorial Corner wasn't able to hang on, and Paterno took advantage there. Brian Quilly still holding court in P4, though, looking good.
Absolutely. Jordan Klein able to capitalize. I was saying before, he was ready to go off that jump, and truly was he ready. 3 spots up in the first lap. And then right behind him, Nick Leone up 5 spots to P6.
I tell you what, Sean McAuliffe and Nick Leone are racing. They are bringing the heat in this race.
Absolutely. Ian Barthelms and Sean McAuliffe having themselves a little scrap. Ian on the inside. Ooh, a little bit of contact. Will Vincent Sperano be able to capitalize on this?
Not
Love the Wu-Tang
sure,
car, by
man.
the way.
Sperano needs to get a little closer there. That was really good driving though by really good driving by Ian Barthelms. Excellent work with the brake pedal there. Not being too greedy. We're 2 minutes into this race, and that's a lot of patience and poise there out of the young Barthelms kid.
Absolutely. Vincent Sperano, really smooth driving here. We can see he's really evaluating up the field because he knows there's going to be a lot of action. And he's going to be able to capitalize on some mistakes and some incidents. And right there, Ian
Like
Barthelms
that.
almost cooking it a little too much. That patience from Vincent Sperano is textbook.
Yeah, Barthelms is hanging on to it, but he's currently driving a track that I'm not even familiar with. I don't know where Barthelms is going. That line looks a little bit like spaghetti on a plate.
Paul Barthelms a little further back. Had a rough race last time around, but it seems as though this time able to piece it all together, up 9 spots in 2 laps. Not a bad place to be. So currently sitting in P12, but eyes on is that Jack? Who's in front of? Who's on track? Oh, Jeffrey Ernsting on track in front of him. Seems those connections may be a little spotty right this second, but is he going to be able to make? Ooh, that was a dive almost from Paul Barthel.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, that was excellent work there by the Barthelms kid, and Ernsting holding him off, keeping his position there, defending his line, making going the long way around, but it totally worked for him.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say
Oh
here,
my
also
gosh.
Jeffrey Ernsting, big shout out for up 8 places as well. Looks like Paul Barthelms and Jeffrey Ernsting are working together currently to go up the grid. So the two of them looking to have some composure together, but I think Paul Barthelms said, "Hey, I appreciate you helping us get up 8 places, but I think it's my time to take the lead in front of us too." So you can see he's really sticking his nose out in every place that he can. Oh, some
Yeah,
smoke.
these guys are going for it. They are going for it here in race 2, and it's making for much more exciting racing. You can see the crowd is on his feet. I mean, the Barthelms, the Barthelms trucker hats, as always, the most popular merchandise at the racetrack.
Oh, absolutely. And
These,
it's hard
it,
to miss it too.
it's all about that livery game. The Barthelms livery game is always on point. They always bring the prettiest cars to the track, and that really translates at the merchandise table. Look
Absolutely.
at Ernstine getting
No!
inside, and he pushes. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Vincent Sperone, I was
Oh
talking about that patience, but it came back to bite
oh
him.
oh! Mama Melissa is not going to be happy about that. Ernstine puts his nose in Ian's door, and it is over for Ian Barthelms tonight. That is not going to be good.
Oh, that's super unlucky stuff. Having to take the car back to pit lane, so not really sure if he will be able to capitalize on this race any longer. And who is that? Is
Ooh,
that the other
Manny.
ball?
Oh,
Oh, that's a
that's
massive
Jack
incident.
Klepchik up in the air. Klepchik way up in the air. There's Manny T around. Klepchik is out of the race. Manny T's out of the race. We
Oh
got to get a camera on
man,
that.
that was also some massive stuff. Taking a look
Something
at
mega just happened there.
this crash, it seems though it all started with Nick Leone being sent backwards, and from this it just spawned massive incidents. As you can see, look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
super unlucky stuff
Sean
from Jack
McAuliffe.
Klepchik.
McAuliffe turned Leone, slowed them both up, and then Klepchik joins the party from the rear in the worst way possible, going up in the air. He comes down on top of Manny T's car. Nothing good about that.
Yeah, it's here looking back further from Paul Levine, you can just see the carnage as it unfolds, and it's just contact over the
Klep,
contact on
oh,
the inside. You could see that Paul Levine actually has to almost avoid. Uh, oh my God, Nick Leone there. That was massive.
yeah. Leone, Klepchik, McAuliffe, and Tartaglione, all four just in a wad.
That was
Full yard sale there for those guys. Fliss
yeah.
Performance picking up some cheap parts.
Super unfortunate stuff for those drivers, but Look, there are some drivers that have really been able to capitalize on that now. First of all, Paul Barthelm's up to P7, up 15 positions from where he started. If he does not get the Hard Charger Award, I don't know who will get it.
I tell you what, we got to talk about Brian Quealy, currently on a podium step in P3 ahead of Eric Paterno. Look at that beautiful blue and white car with the red stripes on it. BQ putting in the race of his career so far. I don't want to give him too much of that commentator's curse, so good luck to BQ. Let's just hope he can finish out this race.
Absolutely. Followed by Eric Paterno. Last lap, Eric Paterno, 3/10 quicker than Brian Quealy. So hopefully Brian isn't looking at his mirrors too much and or looking at the timing sheet, because that's something that could easily get into your head. Hopefully Brian Quealy is able to put that head on straight and keep those fast laps coming in. If he's putting in his best laps, he will definitely be matching what Eric Paterno is doing here. And also, it's going to be lapped car management. Yes, that is correct. There's a possibility that when you're passing these lapped cars, they either don't see or they don't predict which way you're going to go, and it can lead to some catastrophic consequences. But as long as Brian Quealy is able to strategically, manage this lapped traffic, I think this is commentator's curse, but I think, knock on wood, he'll be able to be on the steps and spray some champagne today.
I mean, this is a sentence I never thought I would say. Brian Quealy running in P3, catching up to back marker Sean McAuliffe.
This is crazy. Sean McAuliffe still is putting in some great laps. Let's take a look at Sean McAuliffe's lap as he crosses the line. Crossing the line here with
I don't know. He's got pace here.
122. So,
I don't know. In the toe, trying to outbrake Brian Quealy, and he does into turn one. Let's see how Quealy handles this. Just got to keep. There's a lot of racing left. Brian Quealy needs to size him up and wait for Paterno to make a mistake.
Yeah, for sure. And also, biggest thing is that back marker management.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things here, and that I always constantly find whenever I race here at Summit Point, is that especially the track is so blind and so narrow in so many places that when you're following too close behind another car, it's just so hard to find visual cues of turn-ins and widths of the track. It's very easy to find yourself going a little too wide or turning in at a weird point. This is really super important for Brian Quealy to really narrow in and focus and to keep driving his line.
You're 100% correct. That little complex right there, the little left-right complex, it is so easy to turn in early and track out early, and you just run out of real estate so quickly back there in that little horseshoe. Visual references are really important, and sight lines are even more important.
Absolutely. I was trying to show here that, if Eric Paterno was to get up and behind, I think this is, who is to the left here? This is, can't remember. Oh, Vincent Sperano's to the left. Sorry.
Yeah, in that.
I was going to show sort of that idea. Maybe Brian Quealy's behind Vincent Sperano, but you can see right here, we're coming through this like partial left before the real left. It's very easy to dip your tires into that right grass, and also here it's very easy to get very eager and really just, as we saw in the last race with Brian Hedian, just going fully into the sand.
Yeah. And believe me, kids, there's nothing but trees beyond that sand trap over there. It is one of the most dangerous sand traps in all of North America. So here's a great look from Brian Quealy's car ahead at the Eric Paterno car. And they're both tracking Sean McAuliffe up there, who's not up on the board, but still a very quick car and a very quick driver.
Absolutely. Sean McAuliffe putting in a 126.8. And I think had there not been that bigger incident at the beginning of the race, he would be in the top 5 position. The lap times, say so. But, I think that with Sean McAuliffe in front, really Paterno is just able to capitalize on draft and sort of build a little bit of a gap on Brian Quealy. But hopefully Brian Quealy can keep that pace up, and we could see some great driving from him, because ultimately Brian Quealy is only like a few tenths off on the laps of Eric Paterno. So he's right there.
Yeah, he really is, man. And it's just good to see all kinds of drivers out here competing and being in the mix. It's what this is all about. Here's Owen. We haven't talked about the senior Barthelms that much tonight in the Oreo car. You know his livery's on point, though. And he's got another Barthelms right behind him there. This is exciting. A little father-son action here. The Oreo car goes really wide.
Absolutely.
Nothing but
I was going to
hopes and
say that.
dreams in that brake pedal.
I think Owen Barthelm's got a little caught out by the car coming out of pit lane. The car coming out of pit lane's the number 8 overfall, Walkiewicz. But he got a little scared there because he was almost going to make the move on Ron Trenka and then just got on the brakes, unsettled the car a little bit. I mean, as I said, it's a little blind when you're tucked up so close. But I got to say, Owen Barthelm's up 13 positions. This is an amazing race from him. Top 10.
It really is. And this is about the time where these tires start to go away, right? So these guys are going to have to be really soft on these inputs, soft with the hands, soft with the gas and the brake, because these cars are twitchy right now.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a and as we were saying, right, who was that? Rafal going off in the background.
That was Walkiewicz, yeah.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's something you really got to keep telling yourself here. And if anyone's watching and is within the vicinity of Owen Barthelms, go tap on his shoulder and say that we said that. Slow is smooth is fast, because as that tire degrades, it's just gonna get slipperier and slipperier, and you just have to calm yourself down. Beginning of the race, you can be very aggressive on the tire, but now you just simply can't.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Trinka here in the top 10, Owen Barthelms in the top 10, Paul Levine in the top 10, Niclario and Barthelms, Jordan Klein, Brian Quealy. What a race out of all of these top 10 competitors this week.
Absolutely. And Owen Barthelms has been catching up to Ron Trenka like nobody's business. I think that this move is going to happen sooner than later, and we will be the ones watching.
Absolutely. Thanks to the quality guys in the camera truck, his footage is amazing. And here's Owen working the rear bumper there of Ron Trinka. Trinka better keep his eyes forward. There's the corner where I was talking about. An early exit there can spell doom. An early exit here can spell doom. You really got to get a good run through here under this bridge to get speed on that front straight.
You see Owen just pacing the move, understands that that's not the place to do the move. There's a possibility that could be a little too dangerous, and he just needs to focus on his exit here and capitalize on a really good exit here. And also, I gotta say, it is almost a poem with Ian Barthelms following close behind, maybe in his dad's ear, like saying, "Hey, slow down here, brake here." Almost co-driving, if you will.
I'm telling you what, this is exciting stuff here.
Oh man, Owen Barthelms, we're waiting for the move. Oh, almost caught out by that back marker who's just stopped on the outside there.
I'm sure that the best Barthelms, Melissa, is at home watching this. I bet you she is holding her breath every lap, because this is exciting stuff out of the Barthelms clan right now, with Dad leading the way. I mean, Owen's in 10th place. Paul's up in 6th place, so we've just got a field full of Barthelms.
Absolutely, and I think Owen Barthelms is really going to take that patience approach. Ron Trenka seems as though he's really struggling with that tire degradation. Owen Barthelms really driving a smooth race, probably maybe has even more tire life right this second than Ron Trenka. So hopefully able to capitalize on that, because his exit out of this sector is mega.
Well, there's only about 4 minutes left in this race. It's going to be exciting to see what happens here. Trent is still out front. Brian Headian still in second. Paterno and Quealy in fourth.
Owen Barthelms
and
on
then
the
we've
inside.
got all. Yeah. Yeah, he's got
Clears
Trenka
him
clean.
before the brake zone.
Yeah. And he's going to jam.
Oh,
He's got to get it turned, though. He's got to get it slowed. Got to get it woed. Got to let it turn, man. Oh, man. A little optimism there out of Owen Barthelms. A little hopes and dreams on that brake pedal. But he did keep it out front. And he's clean through 3. So, Owen Barthelms moves cleanly into 9th place. Great race out of him.
Phenomenal stuff. Looking further up the field, you've got Paul Barthelms calmly setting in 6th place, but unfortunate stuff. Brian Quealy in P5. Did Jordan Klein just have that pace today?
Apparently he did. I don't think Brian made any mistakes. I think, I think Jordan Klein just walked him down. The power of the pink, the breast cancer awareness car.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, Jordan Klein is truly on one right now. Actually, it looks like off of Brian Quilly's last lap, he ran a 139.2. The possibility he may have had a little bit of an issue. Taking a look here, let's take a look back. Yeah, this is Brian
Oh
Quealy
yeah,
backwards. Oh, there may have been
yeah,
contact.
with Sean McAuliffe, and then there
Oh,
goes Vinny Sperano. Yeah,
wait a second.
yeah,
Let's.
we were not paying attention, were we?
This is this Sean McAuliffe. Sean McAuliffe coming into the right-hander here, late on the brakes, trying to make sure he doesn't make contact with anyone. And unfortunately, Brian Quealy getting collected in that contact.
Oh
Ooh,
no. Sean McAuliffe's club dues just went through the roof.
oh man.
Oh, that's bad news. Bad news for Sean McAuliffe. You don't want to drive it into Quealy's door. That's tough. Tough break for Sean McAuliffe.
Yeah,
We had a good
absolutely.
run, Sean. Talk to you later. Um,
Oh, it's too
no,
funny.
Sean's awesome.
Well,
Sean's awesome. Brian's awesome. This is fun.
yeah, but I gotta say though, Brian Quealy, if we're looking at the lap times, still putting in really good times, and his lap times, last few laps are faster than Jordan Klein. So pending there is
Yeah,
no,
BQ's gonna have. He's gonna have Jordan Klein on this lap.
yeah, I think so. As long as there's no damage to that car affecting the lap time of it, I think Brian Quealy may give us a little bit of a show. And also behind Paul Barthelms and Jacob McClario, also having themselves a little scrap. We'll take a look. We'll keep a close look visually behind. You can see, but also on the timing boards to see, when things get spicy, if you will.
Yeah, the gap is nothing. Down to 3/10 there. You can see you could throw a blanket over Klein and Quealy right now. Quealy is on the hunt. I mean, he is on the hunt. Breast cancer be damned. Quealy wants to have that pink car, and he's going into the final turn. He's got one lap to go, and I think Quealy will get him on this straight here, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, this is white flag racing, so it's make or break for my apologies, Brian Quealy. This is for the podium. This is for the last step on the podium. Let's see. Is he gonna fake to the inside? Is he gonna make
Here it
the
is.
inside?
He's got it. He's got it. He's got his. Oh, he's definitely got the position. He's just got to get it slowed and turned, get back to
Wow.
power. And, oh, yeah. Sweet. Very good driving there out of BQ. Klein not giving up, though. Klein's got position here into turn 3.
Side by side, but keeping it smooth. Brian Quealy also keeping both tires on track still, so no off tracks. He
Nothing
doesn't
but
not gonna have to go jump
racecraft.
into the steward's office. That was a great pass from Brian Quealy.
Fantastic. Good stuff there out of the Quealy. And look, that moves him into 3rd place. Quealy wanted that podium, buddy.
Absolutely, he really wanted it, and there's a part of me. I was biting my tongue as he was going into turn 1. I was like, that looks a little late. That looks a little late. Dealing with lap traffic perfectly there. Yeah, I was a little concerned about that first corner, but able to drive it so smoothly, and boom, that is a top 3 finish. That means Brian Quealy is on the podium. He's gonna be spraying champagne, gonna get a lot of silverware. Amazing stuff from Brian Quealy.
The
And
podium
not to-
finish out of Brian Quealy may save Sean McAuliffe's membership. I think Sean McAuliffe may be allowed back to the club in 2025 only because of the podium finish out of BQ. That's fantastic stuff.
Absolutely. And I don't want to forget to mention Paul Barthelms up 16 positions. The Hard Charger Award goes to him.
Hard
Ab-
charger of the day for sure is that
Absolutely.
Dunkin' Donuts car of Paul Barthelms. I tell you what, they'll be partying at the merchandise trailer. It'll be Dunkin' Espresso all night long for the Barthelms.
Absolutely. Hopefully Duncan's giving out some free coffees as well, because I would love to partake in that. But what a packed race we had. I wasn't expecting it to be that packed.
Yeah, that was great. Also, thoughts and prayers still I go to see. Peter Bank didn't even make the second race.
Oh my
Obviously,
goodness.
he's still in the stewards. He's on the roof of the stewards. I'm telling you. Peter Bank. Oh, thoughts and prayers. I tell
Yeah.
you what, it was a great race. This was actually, Dimitri. I think this. I think we both agreed this was a more exciting race than we expected out of Summit Point.
No, I completely agree with you there. This is I not to say that this isn't an exciting track, but it serves far more excitement than I had initially thought it would. And I think, on top of that, the cherry on top is the effect that this actually has on the championship. Because, up until this point, it kind of felt like Paul Barthelmes was going to run away with the championship. But right here, we saw Jordan Klein P4, Brian Quealy P3. Like, this really starts to shuffle some things around, and we can start to see some movement. I think there's a possibility that Paul Barthelme still on top after this race, but I mean, just this was a great race. Look, Owen Barthelme's P9.
Yeah. Shout out to also though, shout out to Brian Hedian. 2 podiums tonight for Brian Hedian. I mean, he's been on a dry spell of bad luck, and good for that kid to come through with some great finishes. He certainly earned it and needed some good finishes. Good drive out of Trent Walco. Everybody, I mean, it was good. Glad to see Paul Levine out finishing in P7. It was a great night for all of these guys. Manny T finished strong, even with the contact at P11. Um, it was not a bad night for everybody. It was really good.
Absolutely. And also it was amazing to see some new faces in the series, and also those new faces just driving real quick, putting in
Yeah,
some immediate
Levine,
amazing
Niclario,
pace. Yeah,
Rivera,
Niclario
absolutely.
P6, which was what a drive from him.
Well, the Niclarios are super fast. They came through the teen camps. I mean, of course they're fast, right?
They've got to be. I
You
mean,
hang around with Josh Green and Brian Hedian and Trent Walco, you're going to get fast. That's just the way it is. If you want to get fast like those guys, come out for a race school, do some private instruction, come to a teen camp. Monticello is the place.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed tonight's stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps show us that we're doing things well. And in future races, don't be afraid to interact with the comment section in the live comments, because we see them. It's up. So shout out to Vincent Sperano. You had some love there in the chat. And also, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the Monticello Motor Club YouTube channel, and make sure you also put some notifications for their future races, because in 2 weeks, I think we got ourselves a little bit of a special event.
It's an enduro. It's the first enduro of the season, a pro-am enduro, and it's going to be exciting. It's the first one. I think it's the first one ever, actually.
Hmm.
So it's a special race coming up in 2 weeks on February 26th.
Yeah, that is something that you definitely do not want to miss. You're going to see a lot of great driving. Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona, a phenomenal track in GT4. And we're going to see some driver switches midway through the race. That means that, it
It's
isn't just
gonna-
going to be one driver on track, because the driver that may start at the back could always end at the front. And also, if any of the drivers are listening right this second at the end of the stream, please practice your pit stops. The last thing we want to see is people speeding in pit lane, because I'm going to make sure that no one gets their penalties cleared. No one's going to the steward's office and paying off the stewards this time around to clear those black flags. So make sure you practice braking very hard and turning on that pit limiter. But that's all I got, Derek. Anything from you?
No, man, we're good. It's been awesome here from Summit Point. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks in Spain.
Gotcha. Cool. And the ads are going through. Cool, fun stuff. Yeah, that ended up being more interesting than I thought. I told Josh that he could join the stream at any point and you know, tell us, give us the Josh Green breakdown. But unfortunately, he didn't feel like coming by it at any point. Is what it is. Oh, nice. Was he is he gonna raise some membership dues? Yeah, but that was good. That was good.